Hi friends, welcome back to the part 2 of the cart service. This is video number 10. So in our previous video, we started working on the cart service and we injected few other services in the cart service file like product service, order service and the router. We created a couple of observables which the component can subscribe, and we also created a couple of private variables. Okay, that we will use for storing the information in local storage as well as on the server. Okay, by server I mean the front end server, which is this Angular app. Okay, so in our constructor we checked if the local storage is already set or not. If it has a value, then we will loop through each product present there and add it to our cart. Okay, as well as update the local storage with the new information. And we placed a to do here to calculate the total amount, which will be creating this method in a bit. So let's start working on the other methods. The first method that we will be creating is add product to cart. Okay, so I'll name it add product to cart. This will take two parameters. First is the ID of the product, and second the quantity. This will be an optional parameter. Okay, which the component may or may not send. Okay, so the logic here is that, so we have a card. Okay, so there can be three steps, right? The first one, three conditions, I'm sorry. The first one is if the card is empty. Okay, second, if the card has some items. Okay, then under 2 we will have a sub condition that the item which you are trying to add, if that item is already in the cart and if that item is not in the cart. Okay, these are the four scenarios which will comprise the whole method. Okay, so let's start with the first one, and in order to do that we need to call the product service. Okay, to get a single product matching this ID, and let's subscribe to it. This will return an observable, so we need to subscribe here, which will give us a product from the database. And so let's put this condition there inside the subscribe call. So let's say if this dot cart data server. So whatever validation you want to do, make sure you always use the data server object and not the data client, because the client value can be changed manually by some hacker or by the user if he opens the developer tool. So we will always rely on the cart data server object here. Okay, so again we'll check the first element here and the product value. If it's undefined, so that means there is no product in it in the cart. Okay, because we know, because this is set here. Okay, it's undefined. This is the default value. So what we'll do, we'll set this dot cart data server dot data product. The first product will be equal to the product that I fetch. Okay, so after this is done, my cart will no longer be empty. Okay, then this dot cart data server dot data 0 dot num in cart. Okay, so here is a little bit of trick. So we don't know whether the quantity will be given to us or not. Okay, so we'll do a small check here using tertiary operator or ternary. I'm not sure. It's ternary, I believe. Ternary operator. So you put quantity here and check for undefined. If the quantity is not undefined, then use the quantity, or else use 1 as a default quantity. Okay. Then again we have a to do here. Calculate total amount. Okay. Next, I want to add the client data. Prod data. First element in cart should be equal to this dot cart data server dot data first element dot in cart value num in cart. Okay. And similarly here the ID will be equal to uh, the product ID that I fetched from the database. Okay. Next thing is, oops, the client data total. I want the total amount to be stored in the local storage. This will also be equal to this of client data server dot total. Okay, like that. And then I will update my local storage with the information here. And then I'll emit the new cart data object here and use the next method, which will emit a new value. And instead of emitting this cart data server object like this, I want to emit a copy of this. So the easiest way is to use the spread operator that is present in ES6. Okay, so this simply expands this object and creates a copy of this object and sends it here. Okay, so once this is done, I'll again put a to do here. Display a toast notification. This is end of if. Now next, card is not empty. Okay, let's copy everything from here, put it here. So the card is not empty. We'll choose an else statement here. So we'll try to find the index of the product in the card. So the way I choose to do it is using the find index method, and since no user will add thousands of products in the cart, so this method will work efficiently. Okay, so we'll use this cart data server object and dot data array. In this array I'll use the find index method, which will give me either the index of that product in the array, or -1 if the product is missing. Okay, so I'll use the arrow function here. So p dot product dot id, if it matches the product that I got. Okay, so this will either be -1 or a positive value. This means index is positive value. So if that's the case, if index is not equal to -1, so quantity, and we'll check if quantity is not equal to undefined and quantity is less than equal to prod dot quantity. That's the case. We'll say this dot cart data server dot data index. Okay, the object at this index position, we want to change its num in cart value, and what we'll do, we will use this dot cart data server dot data index num in cart is, we'll check if that is less than product quantity. If that's the case, we'll use quantity or prod.quantity. Okay. So this says that if my current in cart value is less than product.quantity. Okay, so I have, let's say I have 5 products in the database. I have one here, so it's less, and I'm sending 2 here. So this will get replaced with 2, or else if this is not less, so it will always be equal to the maximum number. Okay, perfect. So once that is done, I'll use the else statement. If the quantity is not set, then what I want the same statement here, but the condition here it should be, I want to increment value by 1. Okay, so once that is done, this index block is over. Okay, so this else is done, block is over, and once that is done, once the quantity is set, I will set cart data client dot prod data index in cart. And the reason why I'm setting the local storage each time is because to have a consistent index number. So whatever product is displaying as index 1 in the cart data server will always be at index 1 in cart data client as well. Okay, cart data server dot data index dot num in cart. Okay, so we are set. Again, we want to display a toast notification once the product has been updated here. So after the toast notification, this if block will end, and the next condition will be if the item is not there. Okay, so we'll put else. So if the chosen product is not in the cart array, what we'll do, we will add it as a new object, data.push. We'll use the push method for the array. You can use the push method on any array objects, okay, which will insert a new element at the end of the array with a new index value. So it needs 2 parameters, you can say, or 2 objects or attributes, okay, whatever you want to call it. So the first one, num in cart, will be 1, okay, when I'm adding it for the first time, and the product will be my prod. This is the object that I'm fetching from here, the subscribe method. So we are still inside the subscribe method, don't forget that. So the prod object is available to us. Needs a space. Okay. Similarly, we'll also update the cart data client dot prod data dot push, because we want to have the same index. So if this gives us an index of 3, this will also give us an index of 3, because they are having consistent number of items in the array. So in cart will be 1, and I want an ID. ID will be prod.id. Okay, so I'm not storing the entire object here, or a total or price. I'm simply choosing, simply entering the ID here. Okay, I don't need anything else for the product apart from the ID, because I can use the ID to search the product in the database. Then again, I need a toast notification here. Okay, and after that toast, I will be calculating the total again. So calculate total amount. Okay, and then this dot cart data client dot total will be equal to this dot cart data server dot total. Make sure you always do this, okay, otherwise the total will be different. And once you change the cart data client object, make sure you replace or update the local storage. You can create a custom method to do this, as you might find it repetitive, but this is how I wanted to put it here in a tutorial so that you understand why I am doing this, and you can definitely change it at your end if you want to. And then I want to update or emit a new value here, and again I'll use the spread operator and always the card data server object. So all the components that have subscribed to this observable will get the new value or the new cart items in it, so they can display it. So this is the end of else. Yeah, let me put a comment here. Oops, end of else, and this is end of if. Okay. So once this is done, the method is completed. Okay. We will test it later on. Let's quickly create a couple more methods because we need to finish the cart service in this particular video only. So the next method that I want to create will be update cart items. Okay, so if you want to, if the user clicks on the same item again, so the item should be updated. So we need an index here, will be a number, and a boolean will be either increase or decrease. Okay, so we can ask the function to do or behave accordingly. So let data, let's store a variable here, the account data server dot data dot index. So this will store the product, okay, from that index. So basically it will store the product data and the num in cart value both. So if it's an increase, what we want data dot num in cart. If that is data dot product dot quantity is less than that product quantity which is in the database, I want to increase the num in cart value, or if that is not the case, I want to use data dot product dot quantity. Okay, also once this is done, this state cart dot data client dot data at this index index in cart value will be data dot num in cart, the new updated value here, and then we need to calculate the total. And yes, you guessed it right, need to do this stuff here. Okay, and also emit the object. Perfect. All right, so if this is not the case, if it's not for increase, what we want to do, we want to use .cart data observable to emit so first what we will do, we will simply go data dot num in cart minus minus. This will simply decrease it by 1. Okay, so the equivalent of this method will be equals to data dot num in cart minus 1. So this is a shorthand notation. It is very common. For increment is it's plus plus plus, and decrement it's minus minus. So after doing this, if you see data dot num in cart is less than 1, okay, you want to delete the product from cart. Okay, this is again a to do for us, and then we will emit the new object here. else if that is not the case, then we will emit the object, and this card data client dot plot data at index dot in card value will equal to data dot num in card. So after decrement, whatever value it will have, that will be assigned to the client. And after you do that, you need to repeat all these things. Okay, perfect. So with that, we have finished the update method here. The next method will be delete product from cart. Need an index here. So it will be simple. So what we will do, we'll first ask the user whether he or she wants to delete it. Are you sure you want to remove the product, question mark, or remove the item? So if he says yes, then this cart data server dot data will use the splice method, so it removes the entry matching a particular index, and the number of items you want to delete is 1. Okay, so it will remove that object from that array, and this is card data client dot product data dot splice index 1, same thing, huh? Then calculate total and assign this here. Once this is done, so if we see if this account data client dot total is equals to 0, what we want to reset it, right? We want to reset it, and we will use this whole thing here. That's the default value, right? Card data client should be equal to this. We put it in inline here for better readability. Okay, like that. Then I want to set the local storage again, or update it. Oops. Else update it as well. Okay, just update the local storage with this information. Do not reset it. Similarly, if this card data server dot total is equals to 0, we want to reset that as well. And you guessed it right, I will go up and copy this whole thing here and put it there. So I'm keeping everything in line so that you can read it better. Then you need to update your components that something has changed. So you emit this observable. Yeah. And if nothing gets changed, then also you emit it. Okay. So this is when the user, if the user clicks the cancel button, so we want to return from this whole method, and we don't want to do anything. So this completes our delete method. Okay, next we want is the calculate. Okay, so I'll make it private, calculate total. Okay, This will take no parameters. Let's create a variable to store the total each time. This method is called. Then card data server dot data, and this is an array. Okay, this is an array, as you can see here. Okay, so I'll use a for each loop through each product that is present there. Okay, and I'll create two variables. Const, I'll fetch the price and the num in cart. Product and num in cart. So this is using ES6 destructuring method. Okay, so total should always be equal to num in cart multiplied by price. This is the value. So if I have one product, it will be 1 into the price, and 2 into the price, 3 into the price, so on. Okay, so once the total is updated, what I want to update the cart data server dot total value with this total. Also, I want to emit the total object, total observable. If you remember, we created an observable for the total amount. We'll emit that, and this dot cart data server dot total. And this time you don't need to use spread operator, because this is we are only emitting one value, not the whole object. Okay, so with this method is finished. Okay, so now there is one more method left, that will be my checkout method. Private checkout from cart. Okay, or not private, this will be a public method. I want to check out, right? I want to call it. So what I want to pass is an user ID. That is mandatory. Okay, without that my database will not be able to create a new order. So I'll use the HTTP client here to post a data, and with backtext I'll use this dot server server URL, then slash orders slash payment. Okay, so I'll hit the payment URL first with an empty body. Okay, I'll subscribe to it because this will return an observable, as you can see. So it returns an observable here. Subscribe to it. Okay, this will give me a response which will have a body of success, which will of type boolean. Okay, and let's use the arrow function here. So if success, sorry, restart success. So if it's a success, then I want to, okay, before this let me quickly create a method, private reset server data. Okay, so this method will have this dot cart data server equals to this this whole object here. Okay, this will help me in resetting the server object easily. And also I want to emit the new object to my subscribers data server. That's it. Okay, so first thing I want to do here is resetting the server data. If it's a success, I want to reset server data. Then I'll again use the HTTP client here and post to my this server URL slash orders slash new. and this server URL is ending with API. Okay, so go down, go down, go down here. Okay, this needs a body, and the body will be my user ID. Okay, so and the products. So user ID will be my user ID, and products that I am trying to add or check out with this dot data client dot prod data. Okay, because this has got the IDs, and um, this has the same schema as of my server. Okay, until this point the client object is exactly similar to what you have in the server object. And this is the only place where we are using the client object. Okay, so once this is done, this will again give you an observable. Subscribe to it. This will give you a data object, okay, which will have a few attributes. Okay, let me quickly create an interface down here. This will be outside my class. Okay, should be outside my class. Interface order response. We'll have an order ID of type number. We'll have a success of type boolean. It will have a message of type string. It will have a list of products, which will be an array of objects with ID and num in cart. Okay, and this response, this data object, will be of type order response. Okay, so you can leave it empty as well, but this helps TypeScript to give you IntelliSense, to provide you with IntelliSense. Okay, so if data.success is there, so if it's a success, then what we want to do, we want to create something known as navigation extra. Okay, which we will use to display the items in our order confirmation page. That's the thank you page. Okay, so we'll create a variable and name it navigation extras of type navigation extras. Okay, make sure you import it from the go top Angular router module. Okay, it's the same module from where you import the router package. Okay, so this navigation extra will consist of an object here which will have a state. Okay, the state will always be there, and inside the state you can define your parameters. I'll have a message which will be data.message, put a comma, then I'll have products, there'll be prods, okay. So before you do this, I think I missed something. Before this, inside the subscribe call, we need to go to the order service. Okay, because by this time we must have received a new order. Okay, so the order ID, I need to pass it. That'll be present here in the order response. Okay, so this will give me a promise. Okay, and the products. Okay, because one order can have multiple products. So inside this, I'll have this if statement here. So now I'll use this products array of products to send it to send to the front end. Okay. I think I'm missing some brackets or something. Okay, there was an extra. All right, so if or not if this dot order service dot get single order data dot order ID, then so with promises we use then we receive products, and we type it manually data dot success. What we want to do, we want to create a navigation extras of type navigation extras. We message product message prods. Okay, order ID will be data dot order ID and total. So we this dot card data client dot total. Okay, there we go. And here I was saying we need to use a state object, and we need to put everything inside the state object here, otherwise we'll get an error. So once this is done, I need to put a to do hide spinner, and then I will use the router module to navigate to the thank you route. Okay, and I'll use the navigation extras that I created up there. Navigation okay, something has been messed up here. Green, this one. Oh my god. So it's a little bit messed up here. Let me quickly remove this. So we need okay, give me a quick minute to fix this mess. I'll continue in a bit. Alright, so unfortunately I have to recreate the checkout method again. So checkout from cart, this will accept user ID of type number. So we call HTTP client and post the data to this.server URL slash orders payment null body subscribe and if rest.success is the case, so data data, http://post, so URL /order/new, body will be my user ID, and products will be this .data client .prod data, and this will give me a observable which I'll subscribe to, and data will be my order response. Okay. Perfect. So far so good. Let's check it out. Yeah, everything is good. I'm sorry guys for this long video, but this happens sometimes when you're talking and typing at the same time. So we first quickly finish this. Okay. Then products, and if data success is there, we want to create navigation extras. So type navigation extras. So object of state message data.message, products will be my prods, order ID is data.order ID, and total is this data client.total. Okay, end it. So will be a to do hide spinner. Then I want to use this router navigate, thank you, and navigation extras. So I'll use the then block here this time to reset the card data. Okay. Reset card data is here, card data client, I mean. Okay, and card total next will be 0, and set the local storage also. So we're all set, compiled successfully. Perfect. So with this we have finished the card service. It is a really long video, and that's the reason I wanted it to break into 2 parts. So please pause the video wherever you are not able to follow, revisit the video, and let me know if you have any concerns or issues in the comment section. And in the next video we will work on the components and see how we can subscribe to these observables and see some data in real time. Okay, so till then, thank you, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.